In the following 20 by 20, I will be discussing social media and the information revolution in regards to the Arab Spring and the January 25th revolution. Beginning in the Middle East in 2010, the Arab Spring took place through a series of anti-government protests, armed rebellions, and uprisings. The causes of these uprisings came from the millions of Arab people who wanted social and economic freedom and to put an end to the political oppression they experienced. By 2012, various leaders were forced out of power in countries including Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, and Yemen. Other major protests that included strikes, demonstrations, and marches also broke out in countries like Algeria, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, and Morocco. The Egyptian Revolution, also known as the January 25th Revolution, took place as part of the Arab Spring. Through a series of nonviolent civil resistance and acts of civil disobedience, the Egyptian citizens were able to successfully force their president, Hosni Mubarak, to resign from his leadership. Information regarding these events spread on social media and quickly gained worldwide attention. It can be argued that social media outlets such as Twitter, Facebook, and blogs were critical to the revolution and to helping the success of the Arab socio-political movement. Both during the revolution and after, protesters, journalists, and people around the world used social networking sites and texting as a communication source on the event. This included posted videos and pictures, making comments, sharing posts, and creating Facebook groups to support the cause. The easy access and availability to this communication helped the news spread and become viral in an extremely short period of time. Moreover, it allowed for unfiltered content to be shared and historically recorded. While the Egyptian government had no control over what was being shared, the dramatic events caught the attention of people around the world. Mass mobilization was an integral part of the revolution that gave citizens the drive and motivation, helping them increase their sense of unity to take collective action. The more people that got involved, the harder it became for the government and security force to keep their people under control. As a result of social media, the information revolution has undermined the power of authoritarian regimes. This new type of communication, known as cyber activism, became an important resource used for mobilization and collective action, creating better opportunities for organized social movements. According to a study conducted by El-Tantawi and Weist that includes data collected from shortly after the Tunisian Revolution to Mubarak's resignation, the type of information available in the media influences outcomes of socio-political movements. As the information on Twitter, Facebook, and blogs increase, so does mobilization. One of the most significant events, which can be argued to be the tipping point leading to the success of the January 25th revolution, was the internationally known death of a young man, Khalid Said. Media reports claim that the police beated him to death after he posted a video on social media of two police collecting money after a drug deal. Pictures and videos of the gruesome image of Khalid's corpse were posted on Facebook and immediately became viral. In weeks preceding the January 25th revolution, a Facebook page group named We Are All Khalid Said helped spread the international discontent with the situation in Egypt. An important point that can be learned from this event is that the Egyptian security force knew the strength the social media post would have. This explains why they took such action against Said. This also represents the government's acknowledgement that they were losing power over the information force. Media usage cannot be generalized. While the press in Egypt was relatively free by Middle Eastern standards, the situation in Saudi Arabia is very different. The Saudi regime has much more resources and thus more influence over the media outlets and over broadcasting across the Middle East. While the uprisings were occurring all over the region during 2010 and 2011, the Saudi government could look at the state media as a useful tool in helping denounce the Arab Spring as a conspiracy against it, framing Iran as the enemy. In Egypt, on the other hand, Khalid's video post was unfiltered, giving a true picture of what was occurring. Clearly, in the case of the Arab Spring, social media information was much more influential than media from the newspapers, because the information posted about Saeed's death came from people that regular citizens could relate to rather than news reporters. People felt more of an attachment and feeling of obligation to speak up. The information revolution through social media is weakening authoritarian governments from filtering what their people know. Social media has grown tremendously. Since 2009, Facebook has become the focal point of commentators on the media in the Middle East. Currently, there are over 20 million Facebook users. According to statistics, the number of mobile subscribers have also increased from 27% to 87% in 2005 and 2010. Broadband subscribers have rose from 0.1 to 10.2 per 100 inhabitants over the same 5-year period. Clearly, the information revolution is acting as a gateway for opening up closed regimes. Along with revealing unfiltered realities of what is going on in the world, the internet is helping spread democratic ideals to those living in countries they are discontent with, and helping them be empowered to take action. It has become easier for working-class individuals to become connected to like-minded groups and to organize against government suppression. As evidenced by the successful removal of Mubarak, revolutions against authoritative governments have become much more attainable than they were in the past. Although it cannot be known whether the January 25th uprising would have been as successful had social media not played such a strong role, there is no doubt that it helped inspire mobilization and spread awareness. As technology continues to become more accessible, authoritative leaders will need to face their new enemy, the information revolution.